Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Ludt. I'm senior attorney and founder of Atticus Family Law. Last week in Minnesota, it was announced that 300 unemployment claims had been filed um, in the month, and Wisconsin was not much better. This pandemic is leading to massive layoffs, not just in regards to the service industries, but also downsizing in corporate structures as well. This is seriously concerning in the area of family law because, frankly, we have the child support and the spousal maintenance issues. That's based on your income, and it continues to be ordered and expected that it's going to be paid, regardless of whether you've lost a job, unless and until you get around to actually serving motion to modify child support or spousal maintenance and filing it with the court. One of the key things in this consideration is that it's not retroactive. So, say you think you're going to get another job right away and you're working through the month of April and one job falls through and then you got some other opportunities, but all of a sudden you realize that this recession is really coming in full force, and you don't get around to filing motion to modify child support until Memorial Day. But yet you lost your job 60 days prior. Under Minnesota child support laws and spousal maintenance laws, you still owe for those 2 months, even though you were unemployed and didn't actually have the income for it. It is just one of the things that they've put into place long ago, and it cannot be forgotten about. And so, whether you have lost a job and you need to seriously consider about modifying your child support or your spousal maintenance, or perhaps you are the payee, where you receive the child support or the spousal maintenance when you're the one that lost a job, you also want to consider this as well, because right now your children need support, and when they're in your household, you don't have the $60,000 a year job that you used to. Now you're down, you're looking for a job, and yet under the statute, if you were to modify child support now, perhaps you'd have some income imputed to you, but it might not be $60,000. And so during this period of unemployment, perhaps you need more child support or more spousal maintenance. These are important considerations that have in mind, because frankly, the children need to be properly financially supported based on the incomes of the parties. And so when those parties change, or those incomes change, you have to think about that. And so one of the things we've done in regards to the circumstance we're in regarding this pandemic is we've created a 24-hour program where if you don't want to do the child support or the spousal maintenance paperwork on your own, you can come to us, and we're going to aim for a 24-hour turnaround to get your paperwork put together so it can be served and filed promptly, so that you freeze that retroactivity, knowing that you don't have to worry about that backdating. The other consideration that comes up right now that we're dealing a lot with pandemics that I want to make sure that people are aware of is the child support or the parenting time access. We're getting a lot of disputes around concerns around social distancing or going out underneath the shelter at home order. There is a lot of disagreement. There's stressors that are making co-parenting even more difficult, where poor communication becomes even worse communication. And that's not in the best interest of your children. So with that, what Atticus Family Law is doing is providing a free service where if you need us to make a phone call, if you need us to send a letter, be it a kind letter or a stern letter, or send an email, or just provide legal advice around this sort of parenting time issues related to the pandemic, we're glad to do so. We're not going to charge you for it. We want to make sure that the children don't suffer, because frankly, right now we are not New York City with the pandemic hotspot that it is, or the state of Washington or Detroit, but we know it's going to get worse before it gets better. And it's going to get worse where people start hearing about, so-and-so's parents, one of them just passed away, or there's going to be somebody related to someone that your children know, it's going to be more frightening. And the children in this time, they need both parents, and we want to get past this loggerheads of issues of exchanging the children and adhering to the parenting time schedule. And so if we can help, and if it turns out to be more serious than that, like where we need to get to some serious mediation, or maybe there's some medical workers that are involved as one of the parents or in the household, or maybe there's some serious other issues related to parenting time, we're glad to help clients with that circumstance. But when on its face, if it just turns out that we need some phone calls or some letters or whatever else, we're glad to help free of charge on that. So bear in mind your child support advisory, your spousal maintenance advisory, get that done as soon as possible. And if we can be of service, whether that's former clients or the sister-in-law or coworker of a former client or a friend of a friend, or you just find this video on social media, you want some help, we're glad to help it free of charge. Again, my name is Matt Ludt. I'm the senior attorney and founder of Atticus Family Law, and we commit ourselves to helping people protect themselves, their families, and their futures. Thanks.